Alright, we are back for round 2. Hopefully we can go 2-1 from here. We will see. I don't think the deck's bad. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's bad. I do think that Artisan could have been good, but we just had to deal with the flyer and weren't able to. Alright, would you like to play first? Yes. Yes, I would. Would you like to keep this hand? This one's close. Because we basically got nothing until turn 4. I think on the draw it's in this back with the free scry. On the play I'm going to keep it. We do have enough 5-drops that it could potentially get us there. But like, you're still relatively likely to draw lands when you keep a 5-lander. Like, having 5 doesn't change the ratio so much that you're not going to rip a couple. I suppose there's no reason not to have Oatmeal Courage up other than I've already had breakfast. Alright. I think in the dark, I probably just make the tokens off of the Maulfist squad, but we'll see exactly what we're up against first. Yeah, that guy I'm not super worried about. Where were you? Where have you been all my life? Against white-green, I almost certainly want the tokens. We're going to try to goad them into a double block that Oatmeal Courage can get us out of, I think is the current plan. I have not found the Fairgrounds Trumpeter to be particularly relevant, although it's certainly not a bad card. This is a card I found to be very good. Alright, so ideally they don't block this and we can cast the Stomper. If they do, it's alright. I'm not going to not attack in, because like if they want to double block this and let us just kill their dudes, that's fine. But attacking with a Stomper next turn and a combat trick seems great. So I think we're in a position where ideally we'd have another forest to cast this, but like they would have to like block here, we blow them out, and they can't double block here. They've probably got the deal 3 to an attacker, and there's awkward spots they could put us in there. Yeah, double blocking this guy's just sending too obvious a signal, which is unfortunate. I'm not going to do it with that much mana open. I will here, because we're still trading card for card at that point. We're trading our Arborback Stomper for their 4/4, which is at least close, and they're going to have to use the 3/3. And this still lets me cast a Bruiser. Also, I think if they've got the instant, they'll use it here. So we can kind of say, okay, they don't have it. This should leave us a good turn next turn. We don't have the combat trick, so this guy's a pretty good blocker against what we're doing. If we go for the menace route, but... Alright. They're just making their dude vigilant, that's fine. Alright, don't have a target for that currently. Again, we're likely to eventually by the time the game goes. So what happens if I attack here? Probably a double block. I only take out one of them. It's not particularly good. Most of their board can't block this guy. These guys get thrown away. Although if I swing team, they block here and then double block one of those and take 3. That's not great. We're just throwing away cards. Yeah, maybe I've underrated our ability to race flyers, because this guy that I said is stone unplayable is sitting here just blanking my deck. maybe it was just dumb to make the token here. You could argue that too. The 3/1 menace looked good until they played a 1/4. I guess that's what you have to figure out is like, it doesn't matter what I think of this card. It matters what other people think of this card. Am I likely to encounter this in green decks? I'm talking too much and playing too little. But like, we're going to take 7, potentially. It's going to hurt. I don't like it. I don't think I want to trade this guy for that. So I think that means we make a big thing that's going to be difficult for them to block. This puts us a little weak to enchantment-based removal. Like, our hope here is they swing with the 2 flyers and then play a big artifact to block. Okay, step 1. That is not the step 2 we were looking for. Yeah, the 3/1s are just not getting it done. They're not getting it done. That said, I think we got to start throwing them away. Because I can certainly attack here and here. They can't block this. If they're going to eat a menace creature, how much do I care if it gets me in 3 damage? Because like currently we're looking at, I guess it also potentially gets out the trick. Because they want to double block this. Okay. I think this is just where I am, and then we'll look to cast the Outrider, potentially. Because with what they have on board, they can only put us to 1. If they legitimately don't have anything, that's, I think, pretty good for us. I could keep up Appetite for the Unnatural, but I don't think I need to. So like there's some cards here that straight up kill me, like the Team Pump spell. But otherwise I think we're getting there. I see a lot of people splashing early in a format too. Like at that point, all we had to do was race to get out of that. It's not always right to throw away your dudes, but when they're down to 1 card, I figured they had the a Johnny card that deals 3 to an attacker, and they were just going to get in for 10 there, but that worked out great. Worked out great. All right, so we didn't see a target for Unnatural Appetite or whatever it is. If they're splashing, you can sometimes get some value with something like a Mind Rot. So I got a little bit of the hiccups. Because it just means they're less likely to be able to play out their stuff on curve. I think I'll take this swap. Probably bring this back in. Like they've probably got something, right? But that splash kind of makes me want to play a Mind Rot. I might be a monster. I could easily be a monster. But I don't hate Mind Rot on the draw if your opponent's not crazy aggressive. This has got all of our good cards. Womp womp. Ooh. Alright, this is what we're doing. Yeah, I want that. I want that. We're going to need a good draw. Hunt the Week is a good draw. We're going to need way more than that, but that's a start. Okay, derping around with the prism's probably good for us. All right, that's a good draw. Means we can at least get this guy turned into a 2/3. It's not particularly exciting, but it does let us start to build a Voltron-y rat. Energy, yes. That guy's not particularly good, is it? So, retacking, that's happening. I'm trying to decide if we play this chick and just go in on making some servos, or if I care about killing that. Like, this is here to kill little stuff, and it does let me use all my mana. The other thing is, next turn I could do this and that, but I kind of don't mind running her out there. I have not been impressed with Ninth Bridge Patrol. I don't think they can get it big enough that I care about it next turn. I'm just going to run out the 1/2. That can potentially threaten to block it, although I'm not blocking if they attack. It's not quite a must-answer threat, but it's certainly not bad. Alright, that potentially lets me hunt the weak this before it gets out of control. Sure, they get a 2/2, but I can kill it next turn. Because they're kind of mana screwed, and I'd like to take advantage of that. And a 3/4 does beat through just about everything. So I can hit here, then just start farting out servos. Because like that's something I might not be able to kill later. I can attack and offer the trade here. That puts us real susceptible to potentially anything. But I guess that just means I get on the servo train faster. We can trade if you wanna. We can leave your cards behind. Because if they don't trade and if they won't trade, well, they're not cards of mine. Okay, we're going to slow it down a little bit. That's fine. I can play that game. It's actually not a bad draw because I can make 3 servos next turn with it. I definitely want to use the essence extraction here. I think what they're going for is they're going to block and trade off one of these, and then I can just kill this guy with the trigger on the stack potentially, so that we don't have to stress about it. Don't even really have to kill it with the trigger on the stack, do I? I guess if they're just going to take it, that's fine too. Like, I probably still want this dead. Yeah, I still want this dead. There's no sense letting them untap with stuff that can do things. Like, I want it dead. They've got +2/+2, you got me. Okay. That we may have to interact with. Maybe time for us to stop beating down. I think I like the Enforcer and making another dude here. And then trying to put together a scenario where we just have a bunch of guys. Like, I can take 4. I don't care. Then I can just start making, you know, a 4/4, a 3/3. If they're attacking here, we can attack with the rats. I do think the tokens align with the colors. That's pretty neat. Well, that kind of sucks. I had plans for those. We were going to do things and stuff. It was going to be great. But I guess at least we get a servo out of it. Well, there goes my theory. This one just made a white servo. At least the Malphus squad, if I am smart and fabricate it, can or make the thing with the stuff. I give him the counters, it can start us attacking again. And we're down to 2 and 2 cards. And I've got a mana sink in hand. That's not terrible. I can even play it and activate it and potentially force through damage if they play a small blocker. Yeah, like something like that, I can just force this dude through. Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay. Oh, I get it, because you can do this and make 2 of them. All right, all right, all right. I think you're going to regret that plan, but we will see. Yes, we will see. I don't have to do it unless they do this, in which case I can play the rats. If they pop it, though, I'll use it. Oh, okay. All right. You did your thing. I can still keep this guy safe. Like, they're not going to get me here because of the god. Like, they get to eat a servo. I don't like that, but we get to keep our big dude. I think that works out all right for us, generally speaking. Because they got 2 turns to deal with it. All right, that seems fair. All right, we're running a little bit low on gas here, so options include but are not limited to swing with both of these, trade this guy for that guy, have him take 3. We can also sit for a little bit. The problem is we've lost one of our late game cards that we would look for to win a game like this, and we've already played Hunt the Weak. Top deck removal spell gets pretty good though. They could also just trade off both of these with the token from this. So yeah, I think we actually don't have attacks here. I don't usually hold a land. I'm going to in this case because I can just play it and the spell. The only card draw I have would only draw me 1 card, so currently. Like, we'll play out all future lands, but I think this deck is okay holding exactly 1 land. Like an Oatmeal Courage starts to do something. It doesn't really do a lot. I think I take 3 here. I think I'm pretty okay taking 3 here. All right. That's a real card that you have. And these are lands that I have. So I can force trade this for either of those, or I can just hold it back to trade off there. I think we're in the Blockmobile. And Thriving Rats showing why they kind of suck when you get them late. I think maybe me thinking the Thriving Rats were a signal to go into black just weren't. Like the downside here is they're essentially getting our win condition out. I think I still have to take this trade though. Like, we're in fine shape here. We can trade for the stuff they have. We're gonna need some draws. All right, that is one. We can put the counter on it. Like, Armorcraft Judge gets good from here. Yeah, them having that eliminate the competition kind of sucked for us. All right. Again with the flyers. Alright, so if I make it unblockable and swing in, I can make it 5 toughness, which just doesn't matter. Right? Because 3 plus 3 is still 6. And I can give it 5 here, so I could basically trade these 2 cards for those 2 cards. I guess the good news is then I can start threatening to get in with something else, but I don't think that actually helps. Yeah, maybe I should have first picked that instant speed removal spell over the 1/2. Because, like, I think they're just going to slowly kill us with this Propeller Pioneer. I don't think there's a whole lot we can do about it. I can try to get them with the Thriving Ibex here. And I may just be at the point where I need to, right? Okay, maybe not. That's not going to do it. Like, getting the board clear doesn't... Trading off this for those 2 doesn't put me in a position where I'm winning. At least we are seeing how good green cards are. Yeah, this is the classic story of this deck. So maybe I should value these guys a little higher. Because, like, I'd love to top deck one now. We're just drawing all in, so it kind of doesn't matter. But I think we're close to dead to a swing team here. I don't think they can afford to do it, because if I have anything, we could potentially kill them on the crackback. But they think we can afford to do it. So it seems pretty easy to throw this guy away for 3 life. That's fine. I have to block that too because this is a lethal attack. And I can use the Oatmeal Courage to at least get through that. I can also force through 4 points of damage next turn, but that's not quite enough to do this. But we'll start here. I can conceive of things like Nature's Way would force us through for lethal. Okay, that's just 1 point of damage. So we need Nature's Way off the top, and I think we can still win. We also need them to not have a creature, another creature that can block here. Well, that's not Nature's Way. But it does gain us enough life to maybe potentially play. So if I activate and swing here and they take 4, I'm going to be at 6. I'm taking 3 in the air. I can block, 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 take 5, and be back at 1. Alright. This is like, our only way to win is if they have a land. Let's make sure I'm not doing the math wrong. So I'll be at 6. We block, block, block. I take 3, 4, 5. Yeah, puts me to 1. So again, we're kind of in a spot where we need their 2 cards to be lands, but if they are, we're doing all right. And I think this puts them dead to like multiple activations of the guide. It's like if they swing with the flyer and we activate the guide to block this, they'd have to block there. To block this, they'd have to, you know, put this in front of it to soak enough damage. So may actually be able to pull out of this without drawing anything if they're on Stone Cold Nothing. Looks like they were on Stone Cold Nothing. I didn't think we were getting that one, but we did. Nice. We'll see you for round 3 in just a moment.